Hi there, welcome to my studio. My name is Siobhan. On this channel, I share videos about a dynamic and expressive approach to figure drawing. The main aim of this channel is to help you improve your drawing, help you to deepen your understanding of figure drawing, and help you to develop your own voice as an artist. Today, I wanted to focus on giving you 3 tips that I think will really help you to draw one of the most complex but most important parts of the figure, and that is the torso. The torso is probably the most dynamic section of the figure because each part can move almost independently. And if you can draw the torso, then you can draw the entire figure. So I'll explain more about how to approach drawing this section in this video, and then I'll check back in with you at the end. So as always, check the link below in the description I've left for you if you want to see the reference image that I'm drawing from today. And also please drop me a comment and let me know if you do draw this particular pose yourself. I'd love to hear how you get on with this one. I'm going to explain a few areas that I think you should pay attention to in this pose in particular, but you can also apply these tips to drawing the torso in general. So the very first piece of advice, or the first tip that I want to give, doesn't just relate to drawing the torso, it can also relate to drawing the figure overall, and that is exaggerate the pose. That might sound a bit strange, especially if you're trying to focus on drawing from pure observation and you're not really trying to design or sort of make up the drawing or the pose, if you're trying to simply just draw what's there. But I guarantee you're likely not drawing the angles strongly enough. This is a really common error. I don't know why we have this sort of bias towards trying to straighten up our drawings, but it happens a lot. And that's really the first thing that you've got to look out for and keep an eye on. The best thing to do is just consciously push the pose further than you actually think is necessary. Exaggerating the pose has less to do with design and more to do with actually helping you to unlock your expression. It helps you to be more fluid and responsive in your mark making. It also helps you to loosen up, to push your drawing further than you normally would, and really this has dramatic results. You start to see things emerge in your drawing that wouldn't have normally when you exaggerate the angles and the gesture. So I really encourage you next time you're drawing a particularly dynamic pose is to try that out, see the results you get from actually trying to just push the pose a little bit further. My second tip when it comes to drawing the torso is really just to understand that it is 2 opposing sections. It's not one section. We tend to think of it as being just one unit, but the underlying structure is made up of the top half, which is the rib cage, and that will usually be tilting in an opposing way to the lower half, which is the pelvis. And this opposing tilt is so crucial. This is what gives the dynamic quality to any pose and what makes the figure look like it has motion and life and energy. What I tend to do is I will look for markers such as, the line of the shoulders and the chest to see how the rib cage is tilting. And I also especially try to figure out or try to find on the model where the bottom of the rib cage is. So that will instantly give me that top half section, if you like. And the other thing that I look for is the top bone of the hips. So it's called the iliac crest, and it's the highest part of the pelvis. If you can locate that on the model, you'll immediately be able to sort of discern or see correctly what the angle of the pelvis is. So those two tilts are really important. And that leads me to my third tip. So that is to prioritize as much as you can this underlying structure. Try to focus on that and give that your attention over and above drawing or rendering the muscles. I think the construction of the muscles or the muscle system is, it is the most visible aspect of the anatomy. It gives you all the details on the surface, but it's essential to actually get the position of the underlying structure right first. Remember that the muscles and the shape of the muscles that you learn in an anatomy book are not going to be the same on every model, and this is where it's really important to be able to relate what you know about the muscle shapes to what you see on the model, especially when you're drawing from life. Use your knowledge of anatomy simply to help you identify those landmarks on the figure and then draw what you see. So overall, those are 3 super simple tips, but I really believe that if you keep them in mind when you're drawing, especially if you're drawing from life, that it'll help you a great deal to kind of get to grips with this very important and very complex section. So I hope this advice has been helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you do draw this pose. Let me know how you got on. Tell me where you had any issues or any challenges. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you got some useful information or at least some inspiration for your own drawing practice. Let me know in the comments what you think. Be sure to like the video if you think it's worthwhile, and consider subscribing so that we can stay in touch. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.